ओम जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-Lila, Chapter 4, the confidential reasons for the Lord's appearance. There are so many verses, no purport. I will read 242 to 243. I know. Put 242 to 243. कोटिकामा जिनी रूपा यद्यपि आमारा असमुद्वा माधुर्या साम्या नाही यारा मोरा रूपे आप्यायिता हया त्रिभुवना राधारा दर्शने मोरा जुड़ाया नयना कोटि कामजिनी रूपा यद्यपि आमारा असमोर्ध्व माधुर्य साम्य नाही यारा मोर रूपे अप्यायित हय त्रिभुवना राधार दर्शने मोर जुदाय नयना कोटि कामजिनी रूपा यद्यपि आमारा असमोर्ध्व माधुर्य साम्य नाही यारा मोर रूपे आप्यायित हय त्रिभुवना राधार दर्शने मोर जुड़ाय नयना कोटि कामजिनी रूपा यद्यपि आमारा असमोर्ध्व माधुर्य साम्य नाही यारा मोर रूपे आप्यायित हय त्रिभुवना राधार दर्शने मोर जुदाय नयना Please chant. समोर्ध्व माधुर्य साम्य नाही यारा Matajis, Kotikama, 10 million cupids. Jini, conquering. Rupa, beauty. Yadyapi, although. Amara, mind. Asamurdva, unequaled and unsurpassed. Madhurya, sweetness. Samya, equality. Nahi, there is not. Yara, of whom. Mora, my. Rupe, in beauty. Apayayita, pleased. Haya, becomes. Tribhuvana, all three worlds. Radhara, of Srimati Radharani. Darshane, seeing. Mora, my. Judaya, satisfies. Nayana, eyes. Translation, and by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada. Although my beauty defeats the beauty of 10 million cupids, although it is unequaled and unsurpassed, although it gives pleasure to the three worlds, seeing Radharani gives pleasure to my eyes. I'll read from 231. All these conclusions are unfit to disclose in public, but if they are not disclosed, no one will understand them. Text number 232. Therefore, I shall mention them, revealing only their essence, so that loving devotees will understand them, but fools will not. Text number 233. Anyone who has captured Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu in his heart will become blissful by hearing all these transcendental conclusions. 234. All these conclusions are like the newly grown twigs of a mango tree. They are always pleasing to the devotees, who in this way resemble cuckoo birds. Next. The camel-like non-devotees cannot enter into these topics. Therefore, there is special jubilation in my heart. 236. For fear of them, I do not wish to speak, but if they do not understand, then what can be happier in all the three worlds? 237. Therefore, after offering obeisance to the devotees, to their satisfaction, I shall speak without hesitating. Text number 238. Once Lord Krishna considered within his heart, everyone says that I am complete bliss, full of all rasas. Next. All the world derives pleasure from me. Is there anyone who can give me pleasure? Text number 240. One who has 100 times more qualities than me could give pleasure to my mind. Anyway, there is no purport for so many verses. Om Ajnanatimrindasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Actually, I did not know what to speak only. So many, no purport and so many verses and so Krishna is considering there are various reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Number one, Advaita Acharya, he was actually thinking, I am unable to deliver all these people. Lord Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan, should come down and deliver these people. Then he found a verse, which is quoted in Padma Purana, that anybody who offers Tulsi and Ganga Jal to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, such a person, Krishna gets purchased. Krishna sells himself to such a person. Right? So that is why then he called. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, in order to answer the cries of Nada, I came down. Then also Krishna is a beautiful personality, and he is Sachidananda Vigraha. He is always happy. Right? For some people, Krishna in one thing, Krishna is all powerful, but in one item he is helpless. In what? Just like if sun god wants to know what is darkness, he cannot know, because as soon as sun comes, there is light. Right? If Saraswati wants to know what is illiteracy, she cannot know. As soon as she comes, there is literacy. Right? If Lakshmi ji wants to know what is poverty, right? She cannot know. As soon as she is there, there is wealth. In the same way, Krishna is helpless in two things. If somebody asked, Sri Radha Govind Maharaj is saying, somebody asked him, why, when you say that Krishna is loving to everybody, and then 1/4 of his living entities, they are wrought in this material world, then how Krishna is always blissful? He is not feeling sorry for all the living entities who are rotting in this material world? Maharaj replied, it is not possible, because even if he wants to know what is distress, he cannot know. If Krishna wants to know what is dukkha, he cannot know, because he is Sachidananda Vigraha. His body is made up full of happiness, bliss. So he cannot know. In one more aspect, Krishna is helpless. You know what? In what? If somebody surrenders to Krishna, he cannot say no. Lachar hai. So Krishna is always happy, but he found out that Srimad Radharani is more happy than him. When Krishna sees Srimad Radharani, he becomes more happy. And when Srimad Radharani Krishna sees happy, she becomes more happy. Like that, this equation goes on infinitely. So it increases happiness. So Krishna wants to know what is that in me that gives so much happiness to Srimad Radharani. What are those qualities? What is that beauty? What is, all that. So that is why in this verse it is mentioned, although my beauty defeats the beauty of 10 million cupids, although it is unequaled and unsurpassed, although it gives pleasure to the three worlds, Seeing Radharani gives pleasure to my eyes. So, in order to know what is that in him, so Mahaprabhu came, right? Mahaprabhu came. One more, I don't know what is the source of that. Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj explained. Once Lord Ramchandra and Sitaji, they went to, they were in the forest, Dandakaranya forest. There he saw a mountain of bones. So Ramchandra asked, what are these? Then the rishis they replied that the Rakshasas, there are 14,000 Rakshasas headed by Kardushan. They are brothers of Ravanasur. They take 3 munis for breakfast, 4 munis for lunch, and they eat dinner more. Devotees, they eat less. They skip dinner or they eat less. But the demons, they eat a bigger dinner. Huge dinner, right? They say eat breakfast like a king and eat dinner like a pauper. Because immediately after that you have to sleep. That's why it is advised not to eat big dinner. But these karmis, they work so hard outside the material in the world. When they come back, it is 9:30, 10 o'clock. At that time, they take huge dinner, big dinner, because morning whole day, they are subsisting on some vada pav or something, like that. So they are taking like that. Then Ramchandra became very angry. Then he said, I will rid this Dandakaranya forest from the demons. From the demons. Then in the evening, Sitaji and Ramchandra, they were having conversation. Sitaji was jokingly told Ramji that a man should not have 3 bad habits, avagun. One is asatya vachan, means one should not tell lies. Another is parastri gaman, one should not be attracted to other man's wife. Third one is himsa pravritti. First 2, you will not do even a dream. Even in the dreams also, you don't think of telling a lie. Even in the dream also, you will not think of any other woman. But आप में हिंसा प्रवृत्ति ज़्यादा है. हिंसा प्रवृत्ति ज़्यादा है आप. There is too much हिंसा प्रवृत्ति. So Lord Ramchandra smiled. Sita, why are you saying that? What is, first of all, both you brothers are in the form of a sage. You are dressed like a sages. And then you go around, carrying Dhanush Band, Talwar and all that. Sword and all. Why, kya jarat hai? Then upar se, you gave a promise that, you will, kill all the demons. You don't have any animosity towards demons. Why did you? Then Ramchandra explained. Then she told some stories, how, himsa, violence is not good and all that. Then Ramchandra said, as a representative of Bharat, I am obliged like that. No, आप में हिंसा प्रवृत्ति ज़्यादा है. Violent streak is more in you. There is violent streak. Then Lord Ramchandra said, okay, in my next life, when I appear as Krishna in Gokul, Vrindavan, that time I will not catch any weapons. Then once Krishna was speaking to Radharani, said, you remember Radhe? Last time I promised you that I will not catch any weapons. Then Srimad Radharani laughed and said, what is the use? You are killing anyway with your bare hands. Right? Yadgatva nivardante taddham paramamama. Whichever demon came, he sent them to Golok Vrindavan. Nobody came. Because Kamsa wanted to know who are these 2 boys, who are killing our demons and all. No, he could not get any information, first-hand information. Whomever he sent, Krishna did not send them to Mathura. Direct Golok Vrindavan. So Srimad Radharani said, "Aap mein violent streak zyada hai, there is too much violent streak." Then Krishna said, "Okay, in my next life, I will neither carry weapons nor kill any demons." Right? Then Srimad Radharani said, "I don't trust you so much. I will come alone with you." So Srimad Radharani entered Krishna. So who is Lord Chaitanya? Radha Krishna nahi anya. Because Krishna, without his bodily color, because he assumed the mood of Srimad Radharani, he assumed the mood of Srimad Radharani, he attained golden color. Prabhupada, when he went to Simachalam in Andhra Pradesh, Visakhapatnam, near Visakhapatnam, we have there this champa flower. This in Telugu we call it sampenga. It's a champa flower, golden color. Golden, like it is said, if you offer a regular flower, you get some benefit. But instead of regular flowers like rose and all that, if you offer kamal, lotus flower, you get 1000 times more benefit. Right? More than lotus flower, if you offer, Sahasradala Pushpa, where Bhima, brought for Draupadi, 1000 petals lotus flower, right? You get more benefit, 10,000 times more benefit than offering lotus flowers. This champa is called Bangar Pushpa, golden flower. If you offer golden flower to the lotus feet of Krishna, you get 1 lakh times more benefit. You get one more. So that is why when I read this, after I became head pujari, I started off. Every day morning we offer this champa flowers. This champa flower is very auspicious. Krishna is very pleased if you offer these flowers. Before they were not offering these flowers. Then I insisted. Bring. I will get benefit every day. I am offering. Every day, like that. Then more than that, if you offer tulsi to the lotus feet of Krishna, you get 10 lakh times more benefit. Just one tulsi. Right? In the beginning, in 1996, when I took second initiation, came Siddharth Prabhu that time. He was requesting me to do puja. Then for some days I did. Then I was, because we lose Mangala japa time, I stopped. Then he was requesting, come again. Then, so one day I was hearing Srila Prabhupada lecture. So in that Prabhupada lecture, he told, what is the greatest service you can offer to Sri Krishna? Offer tulsi along with the chandan to the lotus feet of Krishna. And say this verse, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mamishime Bhavamadav Krupaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sitaduli Sadrusham Vichintaya. Then I said, wow, every day I can offer tulsi and chandan to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Like that. One more statement I have read, I was very impelled by that. Prabhupada says, every day keep dressing the deities. One day Krishna will smile. That day your life will become perfect. Right? That is why I encourage devotees, those who have taken second initiation, come and do service, like that, you get benefit, lot of, there is benefit is there. Anyway, so the greatest service, you can render, by offering tulsi. So what I'm saying, so actually, so when Prabhupada went to Simachalam, they offered this champa flower in Simachalam temple. Then Prabhupada was smelling that flower. Then he liked it so much. Then Prabhupada said, "This is the color of Lord Chaitanya." This is the color of Lord Chaitanya. And then he kept that flower, on his next to his face, nose, and then he slept with that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than combination of Srimad Radharani and Krishna, in order to understand, his own beauty, his own beauty, like that. So sometimes Krishna was walking, then he would see his reflection in the pillars. Then he would think, "Oh, who is this beautiful boy?" Then Balaram immediately encourages, "Come, come, come. We are becoming late. Dwarkadish, come. Dwarka." Then Krishna is struck. Who is this most beautiful boy? Like that, he becomes enchanted by his own beauty. Then that is why Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, one should always hear, one should always read, one should always explain, one should always think of Krishna's beauty. Right? What should you do? One should always read, one should always hear, one should always explain, one should always think of Krishna's beauty. That's why Prabhupada said, 3rd canto, 28th chapter, that's why I have given these deities. One should always, those, especially those pujaris, those who are dressing the deities, when they dress it nicely, then the whole day they can think of the form of the Lord. So Prabhupada writes in 3rd canto, 28th chapter, we don't have to imagine the form of Krishna. Our deities are they're the original form of the Lord. That's how they look. Prabhupada said, RadhaRasbihari, that's how Krishna looks in Golok Vrindavan, except for the color. Right? Except for the color. So we don't have to imagine, a form of the Lord. They are beautiful. Then Sakridayadanga. In the 10th canto Bhagavatam, it is spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. Sakridayadanga pratimantar ahitaha manomayam bhagavatim dado gatim sayeva nityatma sukhanubhuti abhi vyudasamaya antargata kim punaha. He was speaking about how Aghasura got liberation. So how, because naitad vichidram manujarbamainaha, paravaranam paramasya chetasa. It is said, what is the surprise? Krishna performing all these wonderful pastimes. Agopi yat sparsha dauta patakaha. Krishna entered into the body of Aghasura. Praptapsa samyam asatam sudurlabataha. He got such a high destination, Sarupya Mukti, because Krishna entered the body of Aghasura. Then Sukadeva Goswami concluded that chapter saying, Sakritayadanga pratimantir ahitaha manomayam bhagavatam dadogatim sayeva nityatma sukhanubhuti abhi vidasmaya antargata kim punaha. It said that anybody, even once, Sakrit means only once, remembers the form of Krishna. Once, right? Form of Krishna. Then Manomayam Bhagavato Dadogatim. He will go back to Dadogatim. He will go back to Godhead. Right? Then what to speak of those people for whom Krishna appeared and then playing with the Brajavasis. What to speak of them. Radha Govind Maharaj explains that the pujaris are very, very fortunate. They are dressing the deities, they are touching the deities, and then they are thinking of the deities. So for them, there is no doubt for going back to Godhead, because Sakriti Yadanga Pratimantarahitaha. Right? So in the same way, Prabhupada writes in 4th canto, 24th chapter, that Lord Shiva, most of the time, these Mayavadis, Mayavadis, their leader is Lord Shiva. Mayavadis, Lord Shiva is the leader of all the Mayavadis. And they all keep saying, God has no form, God has no form. He has no hands, no legs, no, feet, no hands, no legs. Like that, no face, no head, no eyes, no ears. They keep on saying, like that. But their leader is saying that 4th canto, 24th chapter, Darshanam no didrukshanam dehi bhagavatarchaya rupam priyatamam swanam sarvendriya gunanjanam. He said, my dear Lord, this you can learn, all of you can learn this verse, chant this verse, express desire that he's, darshanam no didrukshanam. I want to have darshan of you. Rupam priyatamam swanam. Rupam, your beautiful form. And then sarvendriya gunanjanam, satisfying to all the senses. Then Lord Shiva, he explains the beautiful form of Krishna. Snigdha pravruddha ganashamam sarvasaundarya sangraham charvayita chaturbahu sujata ruchirananam padmakosha palakshasya sundarabru sunasikam sudruvam su kapolasya surasundra samakarna vibhushitam Priti prahasati pangam alakai rupashobhitam lasat pankaja kinjalka dukulam rishtakundalam spuran kirita valayam haranupurame shankachakar gadabadma malamani uttamaruddhimat simhaskandat vishabhibrat saurabhagriva kaustubam lakshmi anapainya kshipta nikasyasmi ullasadbru purarechaka samvigna valivargu dalodaram Prati Sankramanad Vishwam Nabhayata Gabhiraya. Prabhupada's explanations you can read. This is from 4th canto, 24th chapter. Srigdha Pravruddha Ganashyamam Sarasaundarya Sangraham. So Prabhupada writes that there is a essence of all beautiful things is in Krishna. Essence of all beauty. Whatever beautiful things you see in this material world, it's all essence of all beauty. Sarasaundarya Sangraham. Then Prabhupada writes that during summer season, there is scorching heat. There is scorching heat. And when there is clouds and there is rain, people get relief. In the same way, those who are scorched by threefold miseries of life, when they think of beautiful form of Krishna, who is the color of a cloud, blackish clouds, all their miseries will go away. Snigdha Pravruddha Ganashyamam Sarva Saundarya Sangraham Charvayuta Chaturbahu Sujata Ruchirananam. So Prabhupada writes that those devotees of Krishna, they think of Krishna as two-handed form only, because Sujata Ruchirananam represents Krishna's form. Then how to fit in Charvayata Chaturbahu, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma? Then Prabhupada writes, devotees of Krishna think of this four-handed, this Shankha Chakra Gada Padma on the palms of Krishna. Right? They don't think of four-handed form of the Lord. Snigdha Pravruddha Ganasham. And then the next verse, it is very clear. Priti Prahasita Pangam Alakai Rupa Shobhitam. Lord Narayana doesn't glance with sidelong glances. It doesn't look at with sidelong glances. Krishna only does that with sidelong glances. Then his beautiful cloth. Then he is wearing very beautiful garland. All in detail one should think of all these things. Starting with lotus feet. How he is wearing nupur. How he is wearing yellowish cloth, pitakoshesha vashasham. How he is wearing waist belt. Then Kaustuba Mani. Kaustuba Mani. Then Nikasi Asmi Ullasad Bru. There is a Prabhupada writes, there is a streak of golden lines on his chest which represents Lakshmi Devi. Prabhupada says, anybody who has this knowledge, if you go to a goldsmith, he has a stone on which he rubs the gold to test the quality of the gold. Anybody has seen? That stone, Prabhupada says, he looks very, very beautiful. Very beautiful, that stone. Nikasi Asmi Ullasadbru. So Krishna's chest resembles that. Then Pura Rechaka Samvigna. Krishna is standing, and then when everybody has darshan of Krishna, wearing, taking Govardhan hill, lifting Govardhan hill. Then Krishna's stomach, very beautiful. It resembles leaf of banyan leaf. And then banyan leaf has 3 lines. Like that, Krishna has also 3 lines. Pura Rechaka Samvigna Valivargu Dalodaram. When Krishna is inhaling and then Krishna is exhaling, the stomach is going inside and stomach is coming outside. So Prabhupada writes, Prati Sankarmanad Vishwam. Prati Sankarmanad Vishwam means, because Krishna's navel is so beautiful, so beautiful, that the universe which has come from his navel wants to go back. Wants to go back. Like that. So like this, Lord Shiva is describing the beauty of Krishna. Beauty of Krishna. Then he says, Etadrupam Anudhyayam. Etadrupam Anudhyayam, Atmashuddham Abhipsita, Bhakti Yoga Abhayada, Swadharma Parinistaya. So one who wants to become purified, one who wants to purify one's Atma, one should think of this form of the Lord, which is very, very beautiful. So if you somehow or other we become addicted to thinking of Krishna's form, which is attracted to himself, then Prabhupada writes in one of the purports that one who is thinking of Krishna's beautiful form is considered a pure devotee. That means he has love for he has developed love for Krishna. That is why he is thinking of Krishna's beautiful form. Right? So that is why Prabhupada gave all these beautiful, wonderful, deities and worship and then decoration, all that, so that we become attracted to Krishna's beautiful form. Then, you know, uh, the greatest obstacle, for anybody is to think that Krishna has no form, and then to think that when Krishna comes, he has a material body. Who is a Mayavadi? Mayavadi is the one who thinks that Krishna's body is made of Sattvagun, body in the Sattvagun. That's why he is known as Mayavadi. Right? So, if you constantly think of Krishna's form, right, then we can overcome this great danger of becoming a Rakshas. If somebody thinks that Krishna's form is made of Maya, in the mode of goodness, when he comes in the next life, he will become a Rakshas, even if he is a regular worshipper of Krishna. So dangerous. Mogasha, Moga Karmano, Moga Jnana, Vichetasaha, Rakshasim, Asurim, Mohinim Shrita. What is it? Rakshasim, Asurim Chaiva, Prakritim Mohinim Shrita. Prakritim Mohinim Shrita. In the purport, Prabhupada also writes, and then Vishwanath Chakravarti also writes, that anybody who thinks that Krishna's form is made of matter, even a regular worshipper of Krishna, devotee of Krishna, who thinks that he will, after the liberation, he will go and merge with the body of Krishna, he will become a Rakshas in his next life. Rakshas Yoni. He will take birth in a Rakshas Yoni. Right? So that is why every time Sukadeva Goswami, a devotee has darshan of the Lord. Right? Every time he immediately describes the beautiful form of Krishna. How he looked. Because it is very important, to think of Krishna's beautiful form of the Lord. So, that is why it is mentioned first when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the first thing is Nama. And the next thing is Nama Rupa. Nama Rupa. Nama Rupa. Then Guna. And then Leela. Nama Rupa Guna Leela. What is meant by thinking of Nama? Nama, in the beginning, we are on the stage of Nama Ucharana. The next stage is Vicharana. And then last stage is Namasmarana. Right? That is why we are on the stage of Ucharana. Now, we should go onto the stage of Vicharana. Nama Ucharana Mahatmyam. Hare Pashyati Putraka. Ajamalepi Agavatan. Mrityupashat Pramuchate. Ajamila, he only uttered the name of Narayana. Then he became free from Mrityupasha. Later on, he went on to chant Nama Vicharana and then Nama Smarana. Then Vaikuntha people came. Vaikuntha people came. Then Rupa, the form of the Lord. Then Guna. the qualities of Krishna. Right? Then it is said, Sakridmana Krishna Padar Vindayo Niveshitam Tad Gunaragi Air Iha Nateyem Pashabrita Tad Bhathan Swapnepi Pashyanti Chirna Nishkrutaha. It is said, Sakridmana Krishna Padar Vindayor. Even only once one has meditated on Krishna's lotus feet. Sakridmana Krishna Padar Vindayor. Niveshitam Tad Gunaragi Air Iha. The qualities of Krishna enter his heart. Niveshitam Tad Gunaragi Air Iha. Nate Yamam Pashabruta Tad Bhathan. To such a person, Yamadutas will not come even in the dreams. Because he has done all prashchita, all atonement, simply by remembering Krishna's lotus feet once and entering Krishna's qualities in his heart. So, then Leela, Namarupa, Guna, Leela, right? Svechavatara Charite, Achintya Nijamayaya. Achintya Nijamayaya. Karishyasi Uttama Shloka. Dhyayet Hrudayangamam. So Narad Muni, he advises Dhruva Maharaj that Svechavatara Charite, one should think of Krishna's wonderful pastimes and his various, the pastimes he performed in his various incarnations also. Not that directly we will jump to Krishna's Ras-Lila or whatever. Right? Starting from, Purushottam Leela. Purushottam Leela means Srishti. Srishti Leela. How he expanded himself as three Purushas. Mahavishnu, Karanodaksai Vishnu, Garbhodaksai Vishnu, Kshirodaksai Vishnu. All, we should think, how Krishna has created this world. Right? Bhakta Puman Jata Vairaga Indrad. Društva Srutva Mad Rachananu Chintayet. Chittasya Yetto Gruhanena Yoga Yukto. Yatishyate Rujubir Yoga Margai. This is a verse from 3rd canto 25th chapter. So Lord Kapila is saying that Bhaktya Puman Jata Virag Aindrad. The previous verse is Satam Prasangam Mama Virya Samvido Bhavanti Hritkanna Rasayana Katha Tad Joshnadasva Upavargavatmani Shraddharatir Bhaktir Anukramishyati. After this verse comes. After that verse, this verse comes. Bhaktya Puman Jata. When we keep on hearing about Krishna, you develop Vairagya. Jata Puman, Vairaga Indra. Then you become free from sense enjoyment. Then Drashtva Shrutva Mad Rachananu Chintayen. One should discuss among the devotees how Krishna has created this material world. That is why in all the Puranas, that one common thing is Srishti Leela. In all Puranas, you hear this Srishti Leela, how Krishna created this material world. That is a very important Leela. So starting with that, one should think of Krishna's pastimes, various Lord Varaha, then Lord Nishingadev, right? Ayayetat kirtayet mahyam tvaya gitam cha idam hi naraha tvam cha mam cha smaran kale muchyante sarvakarma bihi. Lord Nishingadev advised Prahlad Maharaj that anybody who chants the prayers chanted by you, 7th canto 9th chapter, Brahmadayo Suraguna Munayat Siddha. Anybody who thinks of you, anybody who thinks of me, they will become free from all karmic reactions. Right? So we should think of all these wonderful pastimes. Then Matsya Avatar, Rama Avatar, Vamana Avatar, all these pastimes, Krishna Garbha, we should keep on thinking of these pastimes of the Lord. Then finally, when we become matured enough, then we can think of Krishna's pastimes. Then Prabhupada says, there is a, it is given in Hari Bhakti Vilas that after performing pious activities for millions of lifetimes, one gets to worship Lord Vasudeva. After worshipping Lord Vasudeva for 1000 lifetimes, right, one gets a chance to sit and hear Krishna's Balya-Lila. Right? So Srila Prabhupada gave us this opportunity. Once Prabhupada was describing Krishna's pastimes, childhood pastimes. Then he was so much merged in relishing these pastimes. Prabhupada said, the whole day we should discuss only Krishna's pastimes. He was so much overcome by feeling. Then Prabhupada said, no, we have to preach also. Like that. So that when that maturity comes, we can... after thinking of Krishna's Balya-Lila for many years, then thinking of Krishna's Nama, Krishna's Rupa, Krishna's Guna, then Krishna's Leela, then you can understand these pastimes. Radha Krishna pastime. Otherwise, Prabhupada warns in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-Lila, 8th chapter, one should not think of Radha Krishna pastimes. Right? After going through all this sadhana process, chanting nicely, the first step is to chant, while sitting, without falling asleep. Right? Without falling asleep, one should be able to chant. Otherwise, this previously I was when I got diagnosed with diabetes, somebody told, walk very fast. So मैंने सोचा शाम को program होता है, then morning. So the whole concentration is how to reduce, diabetes. Chanting is a secondary thing. There is one Mataji, Narayani Mataji. She gave a seminar on holy name. I was hearing. Exactly. She told walking and chanting represents mode of passion. One should sit and chant. Because suppose you are fallen sick, then you are bedridden. How will you chant? Like that. Then I started practicing the sitting in. Then I stopped walking. Then in the evening I go for walk. Then sit and chant. Like that. Then when you sit and chant, then you don't fall asleep. Then you can think of form of the Lord. Then you can think of Krishna's qualities. You can think of Krishna's pastimes. Otherwise, all the time you are involved only in how to defeat sleep. Then somebody wakes you up. All that stuff. Right? You fall asleep while chanting. Yeah? You want to know how to give up sleep? I have a solution. 40 pages Bhagavatam every day. 2.5 years. After 2.5 years, I found out myself, I am not falling asleep. So I give this medicine. You read Bhagavatam a lot. Then Anartha Nivritti happens very fast by reading Bhagavatam a lot. You have to, 1 or 2 pages से पढ़ने से नहीं होता है. You have to read a lot. Brahmacharis, we should spend more time on reading and Swadhyaya Abhyasanam cha. Where it is there? Satyam Priyam, Anudvega Karam Vakyam, Satyam Priyam, Hitam Chayat. Swadhyaya Abhyasanam cha. Vangmayam Tapavuchyate. Right? What is that? Devadvija Guru Prajna Pujanam Shauchamarjavam Brahmacharya Ahimsa cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Manaprasadat Saumyatvam Maunam Atma Vinigraham Bhava Samsudhi Iti Etat Manasa Tapa Uchyate. The body, mind and words, three types of tapasya one should do, right? So brahmacharis, they should spend more time in swadhyaya, right? So if you are if you do read a lot, all the time, we see, so leaders are there, they engage you in so much in service, and then you do, you're passionate, fulfill those goals. Then you fall down, they will blame you. Hare, you are in Maya. They will not come to rescue. Right? So protect yourself. Don't do service at the expense of sadhana. First, have a very good sadhana. Then only you can do nice service. Don't, so take time out for reading Bhagavatam every day. Every day. Right? Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that suppose somebody has not eaten for a long time, not eaten for a long time. If you give him only one puri and little sabji, hunger is not fulfilled. He has to eat a big feast, Mahaprasad plate, Radharasbihari Mahaprasad plate. Big feast he has to. Like that, for all of us who have starved, we didn't get association for many thousands of lifetimes, millions of lifetimes. We need lot of Krishna Katha. Lot. We have to hear a lot. Then only it will have effect. थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ने से नहीं होता है. Okay? Then we can understand what is this, Srimad Radharani's qualities, Krishna's qualities. Otherwise we are not qualified only. क्या हमको समझ में, right? Adi-Lila, Ramananda Rai's teachings. We don't understand only. To some extent we'll understand. After that, all bouncers. But if we Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, when we become Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, we are situated firmly in Krishna consciousness, our intelligence is fixed, then we can understand all these things. Then we can relish. Okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anybody has any questions? Brahmarakshas means one Brahmana who has committed illicit sex. Once Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he was in Puri. They purchased a house haunted by a ghost very cheaply because nobody was purchasing that house. Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, purchase it. We'll chase away that Rakshas, Brahma Rakshas. Then he was doing Katha. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta did Katha, Bhagavad Katha. And then that Rakshas left. Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, in previous life, he was a devotee who committed Vaishnava Aparadh. That's why he became Brahma Rakshas.
Yes. Could you share these three stages? Namucharan, and then
Vicharan,
and then
Namasmaran.
Can you explain these things, Prabhuji, and how to progress from this to there?
Vicharana means, Prabhupada writes that one should chant the holy name of Krishna knowing the meaning of the mantra. One should meditate on the meaning of the mantra while chanting. Huh? Yeah. Artha Shakti and Shabda Shakti. Right? Shabda Shakti means somebody is sleeping. Then Hari Narayan, get up. Then you hear the vibration, sound vibration, then you get up. That is Shabda Shakti. Then there is Artha Shakti. This Artha Shakti has more power than Shabda Shakti. When you chant the name of Krishna, knowing the meaning of the mantra, then it acts very powerfully. Right? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in 10th Canto Bhagavatam, personified Vedas chapter, that one should chant with a desire to have intense desire to have darshan of Radha and Krishna. That is a namasmarana. One should remember Krishna's Namarupa Gunalila while chanting. हाँ भागवतम पढ़ने से होता है. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki